go and get a drink. Thank you, Simon. Thank you very much. Right, okay, so we talked about the future of what's going to happen in the horror genre, but there's a lot going on here as well retrospectively. The festival likes to celebrate documentaries in horror as well, and I'm chatting to Dead Mouse Productions right now. They have done a fantastic 9-hour documentary, apparently. Woo! 9 hours of Hellraiser sort of facts and for aficionados. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of buffs out there who will be loving to watch that. So firstly, talk to me about Leviathan.
So as you've stated already, Leviathan is a 9-hour documentary solely on the first 2 Hellraiser films. We've released this here on DVD. 12 hours in total with 3 discs. So this was our first project really that we started about 2 years ago, and was kind of like a weekend job we were all doing. And then that basically morphed into our current documentary, which is due for release on October 31st, Fright Night. And then, yeah.
So we've got Fright Night. Have you got something for that you can show us? Oh, look at that. Lovely.
There. So it's about Fright Night 1 and 2. So Fright Night came out in 1985, directed by Tom Holland, and number 2 came out in 88 and it's directed by Tommy Lee Wallace. So the biggest thing about Fright Night 2 is it's never had a proper release in the last 25, 26 years. So we really covered a behind the scenes story of why it wasn't released.
So how do you choose, what kind of film makes a good, sort of documentary film? Because I think people love the folklore surrounding certain films. You've got the whole Exorcist thing, you've got Curse of Superman, which isn't a horror film, but there's the Curse of Poltergeist. But why do you think sometimes the backstory behind the making of a film can sometimes be more interesting than the film?
I wouldn't say it's so much about it's being more interesting than the film itself, but it's like we kind of pick and choose on the basis of, well, we chose Hellraiser because it was British, so that was convenient for us. But thereafter, we've kind of made all our decisions based on, right, well, what films do we love? What films do everyone love? How do we know there's going to be an audience? And, are we going to be able to get the people to get involved with it? And have it's been done already? So we wouldn't bother approaching Halloween or Friday the 13th because they've all had their several-hour documentaries. So it's kind of just based on what do we love, what do people want, and can we get the people, really, And through that, you get to sort of explore all the different things. I think all the films we cover as well come from a golden age of film, where films were made differently. You've got the effects, you've got terms of, the cast and crew and everything. Yeah. There's a lot of rich stories to come out there, and it's basically giving people the credit they deserve 20, 30, some odd years later, really.
Have you ever discovered any particular scoops or stories that you haven't previously known about, Hellraiser or Fright Night? Have you found anything new out about those films?
There's quite a lot, really. I mean, the biggest one for us, really, about Hellraiser was finding the special makeup guys who actually created Pinhead, because for years and years it's always been obviously Clive Barker. He's the father of Pinhead. He created him. But then there's Jeff Porter, who's a makeup guy, who's a brilliant guy. He actually created the actual final design. He gave loads of details about why he was designed that way and that kind of stuff. So that is one thing from Hellraiser. Well, on Fright Night in particular is I said this before, the stuff that happened with Part 2, where the producer was murdered by his sons, and that's the reason really why the film was never released. So we've really gone into detail on that, about this big sequel never came out, and that's why this murder mystery behind it.
And do you think certain films are cursed? Would you ever go and film on an Indian burial ground, for example?
Oh, hell yeah.
That's the whole point.
Just point me in the direction and I'll be there. You've got films like Poltergeist, although I think that's already having a documentary made. Yeah. But otherwise, yeah, I wouldn't have a problem doing that. Might be able to turn it into our little own Blair Witch project or something. Bit of publicity, you can't knock it, really.
Well, good luck with the next documentary. It's called "You're So Cool, Brewster." I believe that's a quote from the film. Well, good luck with that, guys. Enjoy the festival. Okay, now we're going to go back to our social media lady. Giovanna, get to work, love.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, that's fine. So, any comments coming in? Dreams, fears, nightmares?
We've got a lot. Andrew Mumbles Bendon.